Welcome back. Americans and many all over the world waking up to uncertainty as we still don't know who won the bitterly contested 2020 presidential election. Joining us now, a very tired CNN's Darryl Forges from Wilmington, Delaware, joining us again today. How are you doing? How are you feeling, Darryl? Good morning.
Hey, Melanie, good morning to you. Like I told you earlier, we're here, right? But what did I tell you yesterday? Those two words, buckle up, right? This is going to be a serious race until the very end, literally till the actual very end. Now, just over my shoulder, early this morning, the former vice president spoke with his supporters, really still expressing a lot of confidence that he could still win this race. On the other side, President Donald Trump was at the White House early this morning speaking to his supporters, calling what he sees during this election as fraudulent and saying that people are trying to, quote, disenfranchise his voters. That is not accurate at all, because right now this race is still ongoing. Those key swing states right now are still counting votes, and Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and some other places like Arizona and even Georgia. There's a lot of close races, too close to call at this point, especially Wisconsin going back and forth. So, Melanie, when it comes down to this race, a lot of votes are still being counted, especially those early mail-in ballot votes.
My goodness, Darryl, we keep refreshing our pages here, looking at what's happening with Wisconsin. As you mentioned, it is going back and forth and back and forth. It is so tight. But Pennsylvania, which we've been talking about for some time, it could be some time before we get official results there.
Yeah, that's right. According to one of the city officials in Philadelphia, they believe that they may not have their mail-in ballots, finish counting their mail-in ballots until the end of this week. And you have to remember this, Melanie, that Philadelphia is going to be crucial because they're still counting those mail-in ballots. As I said yesterday, a lot of places, including Pennsylvania, were not able to count those early mail-in ballots until the day of the election. States like North Carolina and Florida were able to do those as soon as they were coming in, but not states like Pennsylvania and even Wisconsin. So places like Philadelphia are still counting those early mail-in ballots, which could potentially very well benefit the former vice president. Also look out for places like Wisconsin, which they're still counting some votes, in places like Milwaukee. And then when it comes down to Michigan, look out for Detroit. Detroit is still counting their mail-in ballots as well, a very heavily populated area that could also very well benefit Joe Biden. So when it comes down to those races in those key battleground states, it's going to be tight.
Darryl, you've been covering this beat for some time. I want to ask you, are there anything here that you've been following overnight into the morning that has surprised you?
I think the biggest thing that surprised me, Melanie, was the lack of strength that the former vice president showed in Miami-Dade County in South Florida. Now, back in 2016, Hillary Clinton ran up the numbers in Miami-Dade County. That's in South Florida. That's heavily populated with not only Cuban Americans, but also black voters. So they really didn't do well there this go around. Even though he won that county, it wasn't by a whole lot. It was probably about close to 6 to 7%. But Hillary Clinton back in 2016 won that area by double digits, even though she lost that state. So Joe Biden did very well in a lot of other places in the Sunshine State. But if he would have had perhaps the exact same numbers as Hillary Clinton had back in 2016, he could have possibly won Florida.
Oh, my gosh, a lot to digest here. Darryl, we appreciate your time. We're going to check back in with you in a couple hours during BT Canada and see if we have any changes. We potentially will. Thank you.